The sun over Marineford always felt different. It didn't just provide light, it felt like it was fueled by the sheer conviction of the thousands of men standing in the plaza. You're standing in row 42, Sector B. Your boots are polished so bright you can see the reflection of the execution platform in them. You're just a recruit, number 7714. You joined the Marines because you wanted to believe in a world where the bad guys stayed behind bars and the sea was safe for your family back in the East Blue. The air is salty, thick with the smell of gunpowder and expensive cigars from the officers' lounge. Everything is perfect. Everything is absolute. You look up at the three admirals sitting on those massive chairs, looking down like gods of the old world. Aokiji is napping, Akainu is staring at the horizon with that terrifying intensity, and Kizaru is humming a tune you don't recognize. It's just another Tuesday at the strongest fortress in the world. But then you hear it. It's a sound that doesn't belong in a military formation. It's not the snap of a salute or the stomp of a boot. It's a wet, ragged cough. It's coming from Recruit Hinao, the kid who sleeps in the bunk above you. You've known him for 3 weeks. He's a good kid from a farm on 7th Island. He's been complaining of a headache since the scout ship returned from the Florian Triangle yesterday, but in the Marines, you don't complain about headaches. You push through. You glance sideways. Hinao isn't just coughing anymore. He's shaking. His skin, usually tanned from the sun, has turned a translucent, sickly gray. The veins in his neck aren't blue or red, they're a deep, bruised purple, pulsing like they're trying to escape his skin. He looks at you, and your heart stops. His pupils haven't just dilated, they've dissolved. His eyes are 2 white, milky orbs. No soul, no Hinao, just a hollow, staring void. Then, the silence of the plaza is shattered, not by a pirate's war cry, but by a sound that will haunt your nightmares for the rest of your very short life. He now opens his mouth, and it unhinges. It's physically impossible, but his jaw drops past his chest. A black, oily substance leaks from his lips, and he screams, a high-pitched metallic screech that sounds like a sword scraping against a tombstone. He doesn't run at you, he sorrows. The kid was the slowest recruit in the class, but the virus, the hollow, has stripped away the brain's limiters. In a blur of white marine fabric and purple veins, he's on the recruit in front of him. He doesn't just bite, he tears. It's not like the movies back home. It's surgical, it's violent. "Form up," a captain yells from the stage. "Suppress that man. It's a fit. Use non-lethal force." That was the mistake that killed Marineford. The belief that this was a medical emergency. You watch 4 seasoned sergeants tackle Hinao. One of them, a man who could bend iron bars with his bare hands, screams as Hinao's teeth, now coated in a strange shimmering black film, snap through his armament-clad arm like it's dry parchment. That's the moment the world changes. Haki doesn't work. The virus, the hollow, it feeds on spirit, it feeds on willpower. The stronger the Marine, the more food the virus has to work with. Within 60 seconds, the 5 men who tackled Hinao are standing back up. They don't check their wounds, they don't call for a medic, they just turn toward the rest of the formation. Panic is a wildfire. 10,000 Marines trained for war break rank in 5 seconds. You see a vice admiral draw his blade, but he's swarmed by his own squad. You see the giants of the giant squad looking down in confusion, only to have the infection spread to them via the smaller recruits climbing their legs. Imagine a zombie the size of a skyscraper. That's day 1, minute 10. You run. You aren't a hero, you're a survivor. You scramble toward the interior of HQ, tripping over discarded justice coats that are now soaked in crimson. The hallways of Marineford, usually so sterile and orderly, are a labyrinth of gore. The Denden Mushis are screaming, not the operators, the snails themselves. They've turned gray, their shells cracking as they broadcast the sounds of the dead to every Marine base in the world. Every G-base, every outpost is listening to the sound of the headquarters being eaten alive. You find yourself in the armory, barricading the door with heavy crates of sea stone handcuffs. You're in there with 3 others, a navigator, a cook, and an ensign who has lost his glasses and is weeping in the corner. "We have to get to the ships," the cook whispers. He's holding a meat cleaver with trembling hands. "The ships are gone," you tell him. "You saw it from the window. The harbor is a soup of white uniforms and black blood. The Sea Kings, attracted by the scent of death, have risen to the surface, but even they aren't immune.
You saw a colossal sea king emerge, its flesh hanging in ribbons, biting the hull of a battleship in half before sinking back into the depths. Day 1 turns into Day 2. The power goes out. The light of Marineford, the great lighthouse of justice, flickers and dies. In the dark, you hear the sounds. Click, click, click. It's the sound of the hollows tapping on the steel doors. They don't growl, they mimic. "Help me," you hear a voice from the other side of the door. It sounds exactly like your mother. Then it sounds like Sengoku. Then it sounds like a crying child. It's the virus, using the vocal cords of the dead to lure the living out. The ensign stands up, entranced. He moves toward the door. You try to grab him, but he's possessed by a desperate hope. He unlatches the bolt. The door doesn't open. It explodes. A hollowed Vice Admiral stands there. He still wears his medals. His justice coat is fused to his skin by the purple veins. He uses observation Haki. He doesn't need eyes. He senses your fear. It's like a beacon in the dark. He moves faster than your eyes can track. The cook is gone in a spray of mist. The navigator is pulled into the shadows of the hallway, her screams echoing until they turn into that rhythmic, metallic screech. You crawl through the ventilation shafts, your lungs burning from the smell of copper and rot. You emerge onto a balcony overlooking the execution platform. It's Day 3 now. The sun is trying to break through the smoke of 100 burning ships. You look down and see the impossible. Admiral Akainu is standing in the center of the plaza. He's surrounded by a sea of thousands of hollows. He's a pillar of magma, incinerating hundreds of them every second. "Pathetic!" he roars, his voice cracking. "Is this the end of justice? A fever?" But you see what he doesn't. Behind him, Aokiji standing up. But Aokiji isn't blue anymore. He's gray. The ice he generates is black, jagged, and smells like a grave. When the Admirals turn, the world ends. If the absolute justice of the Marines becomes the absolute hunger of the Hollow, there is no corner of the Grand Line that will remain untouched. You realize then that the pirates were never the threat. The world government was never the threat. The threat was the fragility of the human soul in a world of monsters. You reach into your pocket. You found it in the chaos of the Admiral's quarters while you were running. A fruit. It's swirling with dark energy, shaped like a heart but covered in thorns. You don't know what it is. It might be a Loja. It might be a Zoan. Or it might be the very thing that started this. You look at the horizon. You see the red line in the distance. Smoke is rising from Marie Jo. The gods are falling too. You take a bite. It tastes like ash and lightning. You don't know if you'll wake up tomorrow as a man, a god, or a monster. But as you feel your heartbeat slow down and your vision turn white, you realize one thing. In the era of the Hollow, the only way to survive justice is to die before it catches you. The screaming stops. That's the most terrifying part of Day 4. The screaming always stops eventually. It means there's no one left to scream. Marineford is silent now, save for the lapping of the waves against the blood-stained masonry. You stand on the edge of the jagged wall looking out at the Great Root. Somewhere out there, the Straw Hats are facing this. Somewhere, the Yonko are barricading their territories. But you know the truth. You saw how fast the strongest fortress in the world fell. You look at your hands. The purple veins are there, but they aren't taking over. The fruit, it did something. You're the middle ground. You're the bridge between the living and the hollow. You aren't the Marine anymore. You aren't a pirate. You are the first survivor of the new era. And the new era is hungry. Logtown is next, you whisper to the wind. I hope they're ready to see the king of the pirates, even if he's already dead.